Yo guys, what's up? Tanner here, Pfeiffer Football. I'm in a plain white t-shirt because I'm about to leave for work and I have to wear a plain white under uh, under a vest. But you guys, Josina Anderson this morning was on a roll with the news. Okay, she was saying, from her understanding, it's that Deshaun Watson, the NFL, and the NFLPA Players Association, and Deshaun's legal team, of course, were like basically negotiating his suspension, and they couldn't get it down to a number that they both agreed on. So the talks fell apart. But obviously, they're going to continue to try to come to a conclusion because they don't want to just suspend him. Because if they suspend him for a time that they don't feel comfortable, they being Deshaun's team don't feel comfortable with, they're going to try to appeal it. It's going to make this whole situation even longer. I think they're just trying to get it sorted out and come to a conclusion so that he can start serving his time suspension. Or they just don't want to keep this going and drag it on, I guess. I think both sides are ready to come to a conclusion. So that's kind of where we stand with that. Josina Anderson also said that Baker Mayfield, Seattle Seahawks interest in Baker Mayfield is still very high. Obviously, in like press conferences and everything, Pete Carroll, as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, he's not going to just say like, "Oh, I have zero confidence in the quarterback room. Yes, we're interested in Baker Mayfield." No, he said right now it's a tight competition with Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Of course, he's going to say that. He's going to back up his players, especially when you're speaking publicly. You don't want to look bad in front of your players. You don't want to have any disrespect from your players. But also from a player standpoint, you got to know that your coaches are going to say things, your staff are going to say things that just, not that they aren't true, but that's kind of like they're just dodging a question, working around questions of the press. Just like, I mean, that's what coaches do. That's what the press does. They try to just get answers out of people that they want to hear, and not all the time. I mean, that's just a press member's job. They're gonna try to get these answers out of you, and we all know that most people just try to avoid those hard questions. So stuff like that. But it is apparent that Baker Mayfield is, in fact, still being talked about with the Seattle Seahawks organization, and apparently they're even interested in signing him to a contract extension. I mean, would you feel confident going into a season with Drew Lock or Geno Smith as your starting quarterback for a full season? I don't think so. If you have a guy who has brought the Browns from nothing to playoffs, who played with like a torn labrum of all last season, I mean, yeah, I would probably want that guy on my team too, just to have him as an option. Being only 27 years old, having starting experience in the NFL, and with a whole new offensive scheme, Browns are just overall a losing organization. Seattle Seahawks overall have been a winning organization for the last 10 years. Now that Russell Wilson has moved on to the Denver Broncos, I just think it's good for the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, the Carolina Panthers are still in that mix as well. I would not be confident with Sam Darnold. I see Baker Mayfield more as a fit for the Seattle Seahawks than I do the Carolina Panthers. But obviously, I think both teams would be improved with Baker on the teams. I don't think he's like the greatest quarterback in the league or anything, but only having to pay him 18 mil for that year, considering most quarterbacks now are asking for like 30 mil plus per year. Baker Mayfield, arguably maybe top 20 quarterback. 18 mil. If you can sign him to an extension that pays less than 18 mil a year, that'd be pretty good. So I think it's just a better option for the Seattle Seahawks, but you guys tell me your thoughts. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this live stream. I just wanted to get some thoughts out there and some recent reports out there. I will see you guys in a bit.